さて。
Start this here, so you guys, Chad, I guess there's only one thing left to ask you guys to do. Everyone say hi, YouTube. Everyone say hi to YouTube, and let's figure out what we're doing. Alright, so where do you guys think we should start first? Top 10, bottom characters, what are we looking at? That's day one Blue Vegeta. I think like the day one Videl was much worse than Jiren was. Start with the bottom tier characters. Okay, well, we're starting with the bottom tier characters. Then we'll start with who I think is the worst character in the game, and I think I'll put him in B, I guess, to start. B for Bardock, sounds good. Bardock's the worst character in the game. I think Bardock is just straight up the worst right now, unfortunately. Really fast lariats. Alright, really fast lariats. But that's kind of all he's got. How the mighty have fallen, correct. He went from top one day to now what I think is probably the bottom. He's got the fastest lariat in the game. I think it's the fastest lariat in the game. It's immune to nothing though, unlike almost everyone else in the game. Basically, why is he not in the worst tier? I don't know if anyone will go down to C, or we're just gonna put everyone in B. But I'll just put him in B for now, and we'll adjust that later. I think I'll put him down C. Whatever, we'll put him in C for now, and we'll adjust that later. There's no C's, exactly. There's no C's. B for Bardock. But yeah, where's Larry in the game? Ki Blast is terrible. Neutral in general is not good. His mix-up game is non-existent. His damage is okay. He's got decent loops in the corner. Mid-screen, not so much. In general, he just falls so far behind what everyone has become. Basically, everyone has gotten ridiculously buffed over the course of the last, 2-3 years of patches. And Bardock has kind of just stayed the same since Season 3 came out. So in the end, he's kind of just been left behind. Still really good as a B assist. That's basically all I got. That's all I got for him. He's just, yeah, it's unfortunate. Unfortunate to see how the mighty have fallen that much. Maybe we should put him C. Maybe we should put him C because I think the only characters I'm going to put. I'm going to put 2 characters in C, because I don't know if anyone else is as bad as these two. The other character I'm going to put in C, the other character I'm probably consider the worst, unless you guys think otherwise, is going to be primarily my ideas, but of course I want to listen to you guys as well. The other one is Base Goku. Base Goku is the other character that's in contention, at least for me, but I think is the worst character in the game. High damaging level 1/level 2 when both your characters are dead. But that's kind of the issue. So the idea of traditional anchors has been gone for a very long time, pretty much. Traditional anchors were used to be the main focal point of the game, is now gone. Base Goku is at his strongest when both his team members are dead. His main way to hit you involves throwing you, and the scaling on it is so bad. The scaling on it is so freaking terrible that you'll take the throw all day every day, because you know you're not going to die from it until he throws you and supers with it multiple times. His buttons are okay. The EX throw is decent. The EX throw is fine. It's just not the fastest. It'd be one thing if his EX throw was really hard to see, but the main throw he's going to use is probably his light one, and the scaling on is terrible. He doesn't have a level 3 he can actually do, and his level 2 becomes level 3 damage or more than that. Again, when your entire team is dead, which is kind of rough, and then after that you can't go into Spirit Bomb anymore. Anyways, his neutral game is decent. He now has some new beam loops like everyone else. Problem is everyone else got these beam loops, and they honestly probably just use them better. And in general, outside of having one of the highest damaging level 3s in the game that he can't go into by himself, and the fact that he's got a fast command throw, that's kind of all he's got. That's honestly kind of all he's got, and unfortunately that just leaves him behind by a good margin. All right, well, all right. So I think those are the only characters I'm going to put down in C, because I think those two are the worst two characters in the game. S is going to be fucking gigantic. Like, S is going to be giant with how many characters I'm going to put there. I'm literally going to put almost the entire roster in there, I swear to God. But so let's move on up though to the next loop. The next Kefla's right there. Kefla is not in C tier. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Kefla is not in C tier. But yeah, Tide's got it. Next up, we're gonna go one tier up, and despite what Inzem says, sorry Inzem, I'm putting Trunks. Trunks is still not great. he can now do mid screen slash, which is cool. His mixed game is neat with EX flips plus assists, assuming you have a high block stun assist. His mid screen combos are still kind of bad. His corner combos are cool now with all the loops, improved damage, one of the highest damage in level 3s in the game. Good level 3 mix. If you can go into the do it mid screen. If not, you have to vanish to do the level 3, which kind of comes down again to one of the big issues of Trunks is that he, besides being a high execution character, he requires so much bar in order to be able to do what he wants to do, but at the same time, he really, really needs assists to be able to do what he needs to do. Unless your opponent will sit there and take the flip mix or do whatever he wants, and even then you need bar. Trunks needs assist to lock people down in order to have enough time to do it, and that's a high block stun in order to do it. And then again, his mid screen combos are okay. If you get the hit in the corner, then that's good, assuming you get it there. Then otherwise, yeah, you need 4.5. You need 4 bars to do a mid screen mix, or 3.5 if you hit a mid screen and manage to keep the mid screen. And you need another half a bar for the level 3 on top of that. He just needs so much to get something that basically almost every other character has. And that's kind of the main issue. He requires so much to do not as much. And that at least in my opinion, is the number one issue with Trunks. Corner mix, you just need 3 bars. You can combo into auto combo. Yeah, but you have to. So you do that while on the ground and getting that yikes. Personally, kind of disagreeing on the Trunks. I think Trunks is better than base Goku at this point, but it's not exactly by a whole lot. Trunks still has issues. Speaking of characters that still have issues, Yamcha. What was the point of his buffs? Someone tell me what the point of his buffs were. So he's got mid invul on his medium, and his heavy is more invul frames, right? Cool. So what did that do for him? Seriously, what did that do for him? But Yamcha better than Trunks? Yes, he builds. All right, so why Yamcha better? Okay, so if they're on the same tier, I'm probably not going to order them. All right, it could be either or. It could be either or. I'm probably not going to order these on the actual tier, and if I do end up ordering them, I will do so later on. But if I'm trying to spark, so you can spark bait that. Yeah, Yamcha now has a 500 scrambles. But yeah, so anyways though, so why Yamcha is no longer here at least. Mid screen combos, corner combos, he's got very high damage now. His supers still kind of suck, but he's got very high damage now. His neutral is at least okay-ish. His level 3 Oki, at least in the corner, is really good. Kurokan, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So those are the and his Ki Blast being the fact that moves him backwards, is actually pretty solid. His main issue, much like the same thing with Trunks and much like the same thing with base Goku, is he is so heavily reliant on Spark in order to be able to do anything that their roles as anchors has kind of been flipped upside down, and now they just need a bunch of help to be able to do very little. And that's kind of the issue. And Yamcha having invul frames on his medium and heavy are very neat now, but they're definitely a much more viable and scramble situation, more so than actually what they needed help on, because Yamcha will still struggle to open you up, and the main thing he's good now for is a tag in to build a bunch of meter, which Gotenks just does better, and he's got a very, very bad beam now, especially compared to everyone else. And he's now just really good at being tagged into for more meter and more damage, and for baiting out Spark. Outside of that, he's just another one of those characters where it's just like, why play him when you just have so many other characters that could do more. Is there anyone else down here? They did improve his A assist, but that's long since been needed. I'm trying to think, is there any other characters that are down here with these guys? Goku Black is probably better than them. Oh, not Tien. Are you nuts? UI maybe, Goku Black maybe. Tien is not down in B. I should put Trunks and Yamcha with these four. Honestly not the worst. Honestly, not the worst idea. Or I put them all down here, and then we move on. Then we move on to the next one, which has for the couple of characters like the UI Gokus. We could do something like that. Is Goku Black high tier? Nah, at best I think Goku Black is A tier. That's a cheers. Roshi, yes. Cooler, probably not. I think Cooler is A tier now, but we'll start with UI though. Much like with Bardock and Yamcha, how the mighty have fallen. UI Goku, he's still got the Exodia punch, which is good. He now has the ability to beam Super Dash like many other characters have been able to do, basically. But everyone else just does it so much better. like the amount of characters, I swear to God, that for like almost all of these characters down here, I'm going to say it for all of them, you can just play someone else that just does it better. What's my EVO team? Gotenks point, Beerus anchor, either lab coat or Zamasu mid. And who I'm most afraid of? I'm most afraid of myself, because at this point, I'm just hoping I don't screw up. Because at this point, I'm more afraid of me screwing up than anything else. But yeah. So besides that, UI's basically got everything he had before. Hasn't really gotten much help since then. He's fine now. His damage is okay. His meter build is not good. He spends a lot of bar for his EX moves. His beam, although he now has the super thing like everyone else, is not as good. Doesn't use it as well. Yeah, UI is basically the same now as he was like the last couple patches, pretty much. He's got 5L, and that's pretty much it. But Zamasu's not as strong as before. We'll get to Zamasu later. Yeah, I might just end up moving everyone up. Yeah, I think I'll just end up getting rid of C. We're just gonna move everyone up. So I think I'm just gonna put a group. I think we're just gonna put a group in A. Then I'm gonna make a giant ass freaking S tier because almost everyone in this game at this point I think is gonna end up being in this section. Like almost his entire list is going to end up here. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, besides that though, we got Goku Black. UI has good neutral and buttons, and that's pretty much it. I won't even say he's got good neutral. He's got a 2S and 5S, which are decent, but it's basically the same as a Ki Blast, so I don't think I would exactly call that good neutral. And his beam is arguably one of the worst in the game right now. I definitely wouldn't say he's got great neutral. And as for his buttons, he's got some decently big buttons, of course, but I think his 5L is basically the only one that really stands out. Opinion on UI 6S? Really cool. Wish it was better. Simple as that. Simple as that. I wish it was better. Really, really cool. Wish it was better. But yeah, Goku Black continuing to be better. Every patch continuing to be better. Just not quite there yet. Especially, and I mean especially right now in the game where everyone and their mother is freaking throwing a beam at all times. The fact that Goku Black has this crazy neutral with his 5S being able to control its fast, slow, etc. is so difficult in this meta right now where everyone is just chucking a beam at all times. Really sucks because if it wasn't for that, he would probably be even higher. But besides that, though, he's gotten much better mix though, thanks to his EX and people figuring out the good left-right potentials from it. But the fact that everyone now is either throwing a beam or going through Ki Blasts, unfortunately, is just what is the main thing keeping Goku Black down. Still, his auto combo is still crazy strong, far reaching 2H, pretty good beam. His 5S is crazy. The fact that he is one of the few characters, if anything, actually one of the few characters that has any kind of teleport in this game outside of Vanish, is really good. It's just unfortunate that the main way he tries to control the screen is kind of beaten by the fact that every single character has now been giving a beam, basically a reason to just chuck a beam 24/7. That's kind of the main issue with him right now, unfortunately. Who else? Oh yeah, Roshi. Similar thing to Goku Black. He likes to be annoying, chucking a super dash, doing everything he can. Goku Black can actually mix. Like I said, people have figured out mix. I did say that. I'm not using his lack of a low 2L as anything against him. What the heck? What the heck am I reading here? Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. But anyways, Roshi. Issue with Roshi is same as before. He really likes to be annoying by just doing super dash all over the place. But if you get over it in super dash, you can't be caught. Roshi's 2-2H literally makes or breaks this character at all freaking times. That one button literally wins the game for Roshi, and not much else really does, unfortunately. And much like with Goku Black, the fact that everyone is chucking beams at all times means that even less often now will you see him be able to just super dash and piss people off at all times, pretty much. Because now he's going to get caught more often, and people are now going to be able to confirm off it. Roshi's got some neat tools. Very very strange character with the backflips, with the low crushing anti-air splits kick and all this all the fun things. Unfortunately, though, he does just fall short with some somewhat stubby normals, and his main thing, of course, being a super dash, which now is just going to struggle in what this meta appears to become. And the character that I love to hate on at all times. Where is he? Broly. I love to hate on this guy because they never do the right thing for him. And not much has changed. I'll just finally put him out of the bottom tier as I keep putting him on there because I really like to put him down here just to prove a point. You missed the Roshi bad reasoning. So the Roshi bad reasoning is less because bad, and more because his main plus is his 2-2H, his splits kick that low crushes and beats highs, and he really likes to be annoying with the super dash. But with a similar issue with Goku Black, everyone is chucking beams at all times right now, pretty much. So Roshi's way of being annoying and trying to get around people to mix him up with his gimmicks is now much more difficult because he now can be caught a lot easier than he was before, and his normals are somewhat stubby compared to the likes of 70% of the cast now. No, I'm not saying from with SD. I'm saying he likes to super dash at people or super dash just in general a lot, pretty much. And everyone chucking beams at all times makes it difficult, is what I mean. His 2-2 series literally breaks the character, but past that, he's somewhat average. Is basically what I'm getting at. His normals are okay at best outside of his the second hit of his auto combo beating should, but his 2-2H being his 2-2H is basically the main thing for him. But outside of that, he doesn't really have much. That was my reasoning for Roshi being there. As Broly, more damage. How are we gonna buff him next patch? More damage. God, this I don't even know what they're doing with him. I don't even know what they're doing with this character, which to be fair, I'm okay with. People got really mad when Zamasu became really good because all the damage he does, and they would do and the same thing would happen with Super Broly. So, yeah, more damage. Yeah. Do I really need to say more than that? They keep buffing the wrong thing. He's getting more. He got better roots because of the beam stuff. So that means more damage. I don't know. Do I really need to say more? Do I really need to say more about why he's down there? All they do is give him damage. That's literally it. All they do is give him damage. You'll blow up if you get hit by him. He's going to have to try really freaking hard to be able to hit you, though. Yeah, well, B is going. B. These four right here are the bottom four. In what order? I don't know, but they're the bottom four. Broly top 10. Oh hell no. I'm still questioning exactly what I'm going to do for top 10 when we get here, but I sure as hell ain't gonna put him here. Do we want to put Goku here? Do I want to put Goku here, or do I want to put him here? Oh, good point. GT Goku. Yeah, GT Goku's going here. Good point. I forgot about GT Goku. That's a much easier choice. GT Goku definitely going in the A tier because Yay, they buff his assist. They buffed the beam. He does more damage now. Cool. Now what? He went from being okay to getting the same buffs that characters that are better than him got. A plus we need. So you guys want to oops. So you want to make this B, this A, this ass. then this A plus. Is that what you're saying? GTS mix right. GTS okay. GTS okay mix. His damage got improved just like everyone else's did. His mix is okay. It's not the best. His lariat is decent. His 214 series has always been annoying and is fairly solid. He's got things with the beam changes is decent. His BS is pretty good. But yeah, it's hard to say anything like really bad about GT. It's just hard to say that he's better than a lot of the characters coming up because there aren't a ton of things GT does bad outside of having stubby normals being the smallest character in the game. And then he doesn't really have great mix. Decent damage. His level 3 is one, and level 1 is some of the best in the games. Once one of your characters is dead, so those are good. He uses the beam super dash change pretty well. But yeah, it's he's definitely not the worst, but he's probably not the best. I think is just the best way to put it. He's not bad. He's just not really good. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best way to put it. And along with him, though, for a very similar way, Super Saiyan Goku, but Super Saiyan Goku I think is better. If I do put GT down here, Goku would stay up here because I think Super Saiyan Goku is better than GT Goku. For a lot of similar ways, Super Saiyan Goku, GT Goku's got better mix. Super Saiyan Goku does, but they both use the beam changes really well. Their neutrals. Super Saiyan Goku's neutral is really good. GT Goku can say GT Goku can be A. That's fine. GT Goku can be top of A. Why not? Super Saiyan. Yeah, his neutral is really good. He uses the beam changes really well. His damage is great. The main issue, of course, being a lot of his really good damage comes at the cost of being able to get a level 3, which even then it's fine because his damage is pretty high. His Tatsu being an anti-air is really good. The only issue being his normals are okay. His key blasts are really good, but his normals are okay. His JM is good. Everything else is kind of average at best, pretty much. And his mix is anyways, but yeah, so I know he could be up near the bottom of S. I'm honestly not sure. He's kind of a in between for me. He's got a lot of good things, but at the same time he's missing things that these characters are going to have. But yeah, we can go Kid Buu next. What more can be said about Kid Buu that has not been said in 5.5 freaking years of dealing with this character? Nothing has really changed. He's almost the same character he was back when the game first came out, just with a few less mix options and a lower damaging super and a level 3 that doesn't have your birthday anymore. Other than that, basically the same thing. Mid-screen damage is okay. Corner damage is now really good with the beam changes. Mix options are off the charts. Stretchy normals are really good. The fact that he's got a really fast air beam is also really good. Granted, so does a lot of characters. His biggest issue, which has been said a couple of times in the chat already. Guard cancel vanish. His main mix tool is just screwed by the fact that guard cancel vanish is a option in this game. He's got a really good mix. He's got the ability to do quick jump over ki blast and confirms without having to spend bar now, thanks to his ki blast into medium change, and all of his combos got improved from that. But guard cancel vanish is as a mechanic basically ruined Kid Buu. Nothing more can be said outside of the fact that Kid Buu is basically the same as he always was. It's just the added mechanic of guard cancel vanish literally messed him up. I think he's better than A. I think he's better than Roshi. He's better than you. I think he's better than that. I'm not putting him in A. Doesn't matter how many times you say that. I'm leaving him in A. I'm leaving him in A+. So does he. Actually, no. Actually, yeah. So does he. Who else is going in A+? So next, NASA. Cell's going in S. Who else goes in A here? Nah, Frieza goes in S too. Piccolo might be. Piccolo's probably a good idea. Piccolo works. Piccolo. As the game continues to evolve in neutral, Piccolo continues to fall down the ladder. Seriously though, Piccolo, it doesn't really, as more and more characters are given normals as good as his, if not better than him, who all have neutral that he doesn't have, who all have lariats that go through things that Piccolo does not. Piccolo has just fallen because everyone else has just gotten better. The main thing that Piccolo got from this last patch is now the ability to now do 5H DR, 5H mid screen into things that just looks really weird. Piccolo just, I don't know, like I said, the main thing that made Piccolo the best, or one of the best, post Hell Zone, has just been given to everybody else, basically. Yeah, Piccolo's combos got better, but that's not the issue with him. The issue is not Piccolo's combos. Piccolo's combos have always been good, and every single patch they always get better. It's just that, what the hell do you do with him when every single character is chucking 20 ki blasts, 20 beams, or doing literally everything to fill the screen? Similar issue, I guess, with Super Broly. Let's give him more damage. What does that solve? What does that fix? You give everyone better buttons to make him closer to Piccolo, but you don't give Piccolo anything he needs to keep up with everybody else. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the idea with Piccolo. That's my big issue with him. He just can't. Yeah, that's it. He just can't. Yeah, it makes him scary if you get hit by him. That's literally it. Yeah, the big green fall down. Who else goes in A+ of anything? Question to the chats. Do you guys think Blue Gogeta is A+ or S? Oh yeah, S tier is gonna be a lot. I told you guys, S tier is going to be most of the cast. Everyone's saying S except for Mess Man who said C. He's just an A. Well, the majority seem But most people seem to be saying S. As at the very least. Okay, it looks like Bugoji is staying in S. Okay, who else goes in A+? Anybody? Do we want to put 16 or cooler there? Base Vegeta, Videl. Interesting. So you guys think base Vegeta is A+? Do Blue Vegeta next? Well, Blue Vegeta isn't going in A+. Blue Vegeta is going in S. Like, spoiler alert, he's not going in A+. He's going minimum here. Videl 16 cooler C. They're going to be in S+. S+ is basically top 10. Base Vegeta S. Videl's the only one you think. It seems like for the most part, most people are now saying everyone else to S. Videl going to be A. No, Videl is not going to be A. All right, well, yeah, that's okay. Let's start putting characters in S, I guess. Then we start worrying about any chance S will be ordered. Probably not. We will discuss that later, but probably not. But we'll start with we'll go with each of the characters that I know for sure, or we'll leave characters that I know for sure are top 10, and we'll just from there. So we'll start with 17. 17 got no changes last patch and is still as stupid as ever. Arguably top 5 assists in the game, some of the highest meter build in the game, and in general one of the best anchors you probably could still pick in the current game. That just in straight up makes anything unsafe safe. Granted, it's not exactly needed as much anymore with more and more things being safe, but 17 is still just, yeah. Doing top 10 now right now makes more sense. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. It's possible. What do you guys think? S. Putting more characters in S. Best assist for real. I don't think he's best assist. Top five assists for sure. Probably not top 1 because I still say top 1 is Krillin, but we'll go. But he's definitely top 5 assists for sure though. Yeah. So top 10 now, or throw more characters in S, and then we'll get to top 10 later. Because I'm cool with either or. Top 3. We could do top 3. Actually, we can do top 4. Actually, 5. Top 10 now. Top 3. Top 1 is Ginyu B. Top 1 is maybe Ginyu B. I still say Rocks is top 1. Top 10 now. Top 10 later. How about we put 5 characters in top 10 now, and then we move. And then we'll do more S, and then we'll go back to that. How about that? Because I'm pretty sure I know who I'm going to put in 5. Order might change later for the 10, but I think we'll start with 5 characters I think I know for sure are going to be up here, and then we'll go from there. So again, we'll order top 10 for sure later, but we're going to put save top 5 for later. But I know for sure what 5 of the characters are. I just don't know what the other 5 are going to be. Actually, that's a lie. I think I know. Actually, no, that's a lie. I know quite a few of them, but. We'll do 5 now, we'll do 5 later, and then we'll order it after that. So for 5, the 5 we're going to start with are 5 of the characters that I think are probably who are going to make up the top 5. But again, we'll change that later. First character we're going to put on the list is the most played character of what seemed like in the European tournament, the Brussels Challenge that just happened. And that is everyone's favorite sleepy boy alien that meditates all the time, freaking Jiren. Jiren is literally a fusion if fusions had medium starters for everything. He's got a 7 frame 2L that catches backdashes for some reason. His neutral is really good. It's always been really good. He now at least has mix options. It's still not the greatest mix in the world, but at least has options for the mix now with that fast 2M. Basically, all of his buns are freaking jump scares because they're all massive and they're all quick as hell. His combos are high. His meter gain is really good, and his ability and his tag usage, either for a tag DR or just using a 5S to tag in just because you can, are just all freaking insane. Also, cheers. Can't safe jump him. He's still got his counters. He's got a counter to all these beams and assists being chucked out. Probably not top 1 in Zen, but we're working on that. We're working on that later. But Jiren is absolutely insane right now. And we'll Enzem jump scare, but just for Enzem, even though the order will probably change later, we will put Gotenks up here next. Again, I'll adjust the top 10 order in a bit, but Gotenks is so good right now. Quadruple cancels. His rejumps are now the easiest they've ever been while doing damage. He's got in the corner off medium starters. He now does 6k plus meter list while setting up Ghost Oki. Basically, he does the same thing that Gogeta Blue used to do. He would do a couple moves into a spin, into a tag, and build a full extra bar just because he just threw something on top of it. He is insane. His auto combo, literally all they needed to do to fix him was get rid of the auto combo bug. They did that, and they instead improved his mix, improved his combos, made it easier to set up to do more Ghost Oki. Everything's just gotten so much better with him. He might have been up here even without any of those changes and just the auto combo bug fix. But with it, he is ridiculously strong and is definitely at least bare minimum now a top 10 character. Where he'll go, like I said, we'll adjust that later. But he's bare minimum now a top 10 character. Also a top 10 character. And the character that I struggle with most right now, 18. For the love of God, what were they thinking? NetherRealm, thanks for the follow. For the love of freaking God, what were they thinking? Who thought it was a good idea to give her a barrier cancel out of a barrier? Who thought this was a good idea? Seriously, who the hell thought it was a good idea to do barrier into barrier? Outside of the fact that she can do barrier into barrier while building a shit ton of meter in the process. She's got a low hitting, one of the few characters with a low hitting 5L. She's got an unreactable command grab. She's got the best corner Oki in the game, the best level 3 Oki in the game, which she can do at any point from anywhere. She is just so ridiculously strong right now. And it might just be because I don't fight many Zamasus in them, but for me, I think the barrier is more unfair than Zamasu's flight. Not by much, mind you, but I think so. Do I think? Yes, you can see Zamasu's. You can see hers. I think her Oki is better than Piccolo's, better than Zamasu's, better than Kefla's, better than any of the Hell Zones. Ghost Oki might be better. That's fair. Ghost Oki might be better. That's a good point. That is a good point. Ghost Oki might be better, but 18's is up. 18's is borderline up there with that. I'll give you that one. Ghost might be better, but 18 is arguably the best corner Oki and has the best level 3 Oki, along with base Vegeta. Yeah, I didn't even talk about Ghost Oki when we were put Gotenks up here, but yeah. And since you guys asked for it before I put 18 there, Beerus, I will finally agree, and I will very reluctantly put Beerus in top 10. You guys have been waiting for me to do this for as long as I've been playing him. They're like, no, he's so good. Nah, he's top 15. He hates the meta. The meta's so good into him as everything I said. Fine, he's top 10 now. He's honestly probably top 5 now. Getting bullied into doing this freaking chat. I'm just messing with you guys. Beerus is 100% freaking probably a top 5 character now at this point. Beerus literally only had two. Like last patch, Beerus had 2 issues. All right, last patch, Beerus had 2 issues, and that was it. His 2 issues were his 2M had no hit. His 2M hitbox was shit. His 2M hitbox could not hit a fly. He could not hit a thing with that 2M. But now he still can't hit a thing, but now he goes through everything. So the only time Beerus would hit anyone with his 2M is if they're standing still on the ground. But since he can go through Ki Blast and beams, he now will go through things as people are still hitting things. Wouldn't that be hard to do for anyone? Yeah, I'll be honest. I started saying that analogy, and then I'm like, that was probably a bad analogy. But you get what I mean. Did they adjust the actual hitbox? No, it's still shit. The actual hitbox still sucks, but because of the fact that it only hits people that are sitting on the ground, the fact that he goes through things means that he'll probably catch people when they're sitting on the ground. So now actually hit something. So I went from a terrible button to actually a pretty good button. So that was number 1 most important thing, and the 2 number most important thing. Beerus hated the meta, and that was the reason why I didn't put him top 10 during the last patch. Everyone was playing lab coats. Beerus sucks into that matchup. Blueku, Beerus doesn't like that matchup. Janemba, Beerus doesn't like that matchup. Vegito doesn't really like that matchup. He did not like the last meta. But with lab coat being played much less, Vegito on less teams, he's able, and the fact that he can go through all these people chucking Ki Blasts makes him much better now already just from that alone. But then pair that together with the 2M changes, the level 3 change, which was totally unnecessary. Both changes at the level 3, by the way. I don't mean just one, but both changes are totally unnecessary. Definitely puts him where, when we do order this, he's probably going to stay in the top 5. Anything besides top 10 ordered? We will see, Kelvin. We will see. At the moment, I'm putting the first 5 characters I'm putting up here, and then we're going to go back and do more S, then we'll come back and do another 5, and then we'll order it. Level 3 is punishable. Kinda. It is possible to punish it. It's just really hard. It's just really hard. You need to purposely basically throw away your mix to do so almost. And the last character we're going to put before we go back to S and do more games before we go back film more for S is Ginyu. Ginyu going to be top 10. Ginyu has gone from bottom tier to mid tier to top tier, back to mid tier to the I don't know tier. Nobody freaking knew what to do with this guy until now. And now everyone agrees he's dumb. Damage high, neutral, great, B assist, broken. Body swap as an option that he can now do solo. Even crazier. Ginyu is and one of the things that he didn't really have much before, that he now has pretty much, is legit freaking 50/50s because of that weird 5H cancel. Why did they decide to give him a 5H jump cancel? Because he now has a 50/50 off of it. And guess what? If you guess wrong on the low, it's a 2M starter. And guess what? Since it's Ginyu, you're probably dead. Oh yeah, and to top it all off, when he's calling the Ginyu Force and other things, he's immune to Ki Blast and shit. So, yeah, Ginyu is just... He went from bottom tier to mid tier to top tier, back to mid tier, to being in the I don't know tier for years, and now he's like universally now agreed upon. He's now a top 10 in the game. Knows that everybody in top 10, but Jiren has dumb broken corner Roki. True. Jiren just has fusion like buttons that are all medium starters, as well as basically unshakable staggers. Because you can't backdash it, you can't hold up against it, and if you mash against it, you're probably dead. So yeah, good. So yeah, so there's that. But yeah, so there's the first 5 that we're putting into the top 10. I do have a 6th character I'm for sure putting in the top 10, but I guess we'll get to him later because I said otherwise. So other characters that we're going to put into the S tier before we get back to the top 10. I talked about this before when we were talking about assists with 17. Krillin. No, baby's not going in S tier. Spoiler alert, he's probably going into the top 10. Spoiler alert, but we'll see. But yeah, Krillin. Best beam in the game. One of the characters probably in contention for the fact that he uses the beam changes the best of any characters in the game. He's up there along with probably Gotenks as the character to use the beam changes the best. He already had the best beam in the game. He now gets basically minimum 5k off of every hit because of it, as well as infinite corner carry thanks to his rejumps. Rocks are arguably the best assists. That's Gotenks. Again, Gotenks and Krillin are the two that use it the best. They are absolutely the top 2 characters that use the beam changes the best. Yeah, best assists in the game. In my opinion, still, I still think Rocks are the best. Ginyu B is up there now. I still think Krillin A is the best. Rocks, like I said, Rocks are broken. Best beam in the game. Solid neutral. 5M being crazy strong. 5H going a long distance. Solar Flare being a straight up anti-air. I swear to God, I thought it was already an anti-air, but now legit is an anti-air. In contention for one of the best level 3 Okis in the game, thanks to his EX change. 18 is still probably the best along with base Vegeta, but Krillin's is up there in contention for the best level 3 Oki in the game. And is arguably, if not possibly, the best anchor in the game right now besides the likes of 18. His literal only issues being the fact that he is somewhat strung to being super dashed against, and some of his normals, despite the fact that they've broken some of them, are still stubby as all hell. But that is quite literally it. Everything else about him is busted as freaking anything. Next up we'll throw in AZ Broly. God, I wish they didn't change you. The only good Broly for me is a dead Broly. Not much has changed for him, but the only thing that changed is the only thing that really matters. He's got combos. The big issue for Z Broly before was that grab level 3 was his only way to do damage. But he now basically has rejump combos at all times thanks to the slam to the ground being able to now be solo confirmed. Yeah, so the fact that Z Broly now has combos on top of grab level 3 just makes him even scarier than he ever was. Well, I shouldn't say than he ever was, but he definitely makes him much scarier now. And even with maintaining the Ki Blast and medium nerfs, he's now much better and a threat basically at all times compared to just will he throw you or will he not throw you. We will throw in a Tien Gohan, because I don't think Tien Gohan is top 10 either. I'm basically just putting in characters now that I'm pretty sure I will not be putting in top 10. But Tien Gohan, they didn't really do much for him, did they? Last patch. Tien Gohan, again, basically the same thing as was before. Unless you use his B assist, he's basically the same character. Builds infinite bar, okay neutral, really solid mix. One of the best auto combos in the game. He's overall just a really good character, and if you want a battery, he is one of the best at it. The main issue now is that they've kind of buffed up the battery lineup of the game. His assist got buffed. Okay, fair enough. His assist is better. So the Tien Gohan in general, slightly better than it was before, and just like before, not quite in that upper echelon. But he is, I think, just below that. And along with more characters being just below that, Buu! Buu continues to be the character that I swear to that I've said this a couple of times and I maintain it. If the games were played by robots, right? Like if the game was played 2 robots fighting each other, I think Majin Buu is probably a top 10 character. Possibly a top 5 character because of the fact that he's got anti-air everything, like literally everything. And the main issue with Buu is that he's very team specific because of his restand combos, and or restand mix-ups, and his damage is okay. Those are the main things that have held Buu back for basically as long as Buu has existed, pretty much. But in the end, he's still solid. He's still solid as all hell. His butt slam now does better mix. He's got a head involved butt slam along with the cartwheel being a straight up anti-air. So Buu continues to be really solid. He's just a very niche pick that requires a very specific team lineup to build around. But the fact that you can play characters like Krillin though for the restands who's really strong as well now means that at least the option of playing Majin Buu is honestly probably as strong as now that it ever has been. And yes, his assist is decent since they added more hit stun to it. His A assist pop up is now actually fairly solid. Speaking of characters that are just solid, Tien Shinhan. We'll do Cell next. I promise. Sorry, we'll do Cell next. But Tien Shinhan, basically the definition of a character that is just solid. Like literally, what else can you say except that he is basically the most straightforward and the most solid character probably in the game. Solid normals. One of the best beams in the game. Really high damage. Yes, I'm going to put this probably unedited straight onto YouTube just because hi YouTube. But yeah, Middle saying something right. One of the best beams in the game. One of the highest damage in the game. One of the highest damaging level 3s in the game, or the highest if you include Chaozu, when it comes to that shit being basically an unscaled super. His main issues being he is so straightforward and he is so linear that basically you know what he's going to do at all times, making him very difficult to play. And his mix outside of his EX chop is kind of okay, and his grab being slow isn't the greatest. But the fact that the chop basically is guard point, same thing with the grab, makes him more of a threat than you would normally think otherwise. Which again, not the top, but if you want a character that is basically as solid as they come, Tien is basically the go-to character for that. There is no character more straight up solid than him. And since everyone keeps asking for him, they asked him for an A, they asked him for an A+, but I'm putting him an S because we love Cell. He's perfect. Not perfect enough to be top 10, but he's perfect. Cell, one of the characters that uses the beam changes very, very well to already add to his incredibly high damage as is. He's got a really solid mix. Another one of those characters that is in contention for the best level 3 Oki in the game. His only issue is the fact that it is mid screen only, basically. But even then, I think we will forgive him for that. Perfect attack continues to be basically the best anti-air move in the entire game, being the fact that you will die if you get hit by this attack. It's got high range, both in height and distance, and yeah, you're just dead. His only issue, much like with characters like Tien Gohan, is the neutral is okay. His Ki Blast game is basically non-existent, and his beam, although improved now, is still not very good. But unlike Piccolo, though, his mix is terrifying. His combos are gigantic. His meter gain is solid thanks to his loops and the rolling crush building infinite bar. And his level 3 Oki on top of his damage is the scariest, to the point where if he has 3.5 bars and you get level 3 in the corner, I don't care what your health bar is, you are dead if you do not block it. Cell is very, very terrifying, and outside of a struggle in the neutral, he basically has amazing everything else. And what can we say? He's practically perfect. Who next? Frieza. One of probably the biggest glow up in the entire patch, along with the likes of I think these aren't ordered. We might go back and order them. We might not. We are deciding that at some point later. But right now, I'm just putting people in tiers. But Frieza, like I said, one of the biggest glow ups. He used to be here, and now he's here. Why is he here? Because you cannot get to him. The orb change is insane. We all laughed when we saw it. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say we all laughed. I laughed. But if you guys, but I bet you at least some of you guys laughed when you saw the fact that Frieza can summon 5 orbs on the screen at the same time as they're all going slow. But some of them are slow, some of them are the speed of sound, and Frieza is at his peak right now in terms of being a zoner. And the fact that the fact that his 5M used to be considered absolutely terrible, the fact that he can now do a slow orb and 5M behind it, not only basically making it safe, but making it practically invisible while he does it, is absolutely crazy. And his new combo routes on top of everything else is only adding to his damage. And Frieza is at the peak of what he has ever been in this game. And yes, if I went back and told myself, hell, even a year ago, let alone 4 years ago or 5 years ago, when the game was near its beginning or at its beginning, and we said Frieza is going to be a top tier zoner in Dragon Ball FighterZ, no one would believe you. Be like, yeah, he's a zoner character, but this game doesn't got zoning. Like, who the hell zones in this game? There's so many anti-zoning tools in this game. How would that even work? Well, Frieza is there now. It'll be interesting to see what Frieza's going to be like in offline events. Going to check out what Gropus and KJ Pixel end up doing with the character as more offline tournaments begin with the New World Tour. But Frieza right now is at his peak right now, and I do not want to fight him. Simple as that. Good point to Qatar. Qatar said, what's funnier is the fact that they made him a top tier zoner by making his projectile slower. That is true, and that is 100% more terrifying. The fact that he can now have a slow orb followed by a fast orb, and you cannot 2M, you cannot super dash through it. And it's practically very safe. So he's very safe while setting all these up and then doing the explosions. Crazy good. Crazy good. I don't think he's I don't think he's top 10 crazy good, but he is pretty good now. He is very, very good. And I'm both excited to fight against Gropus. I never had a chance to do that, but I am not looking forward to fighting that Frieza, because that is going to be horrifying. What about Nappa? We can do Nappa now. Nappa! Cyberman, top 10 character. Nappa, not a top 10 or S tier character. Combine the two of them together. S. The X/the XL screen. True. That's what I mean. Throw slow orbs. That's practically safe while setting up giant explosions because reasons. Yeah, Nappa continues to be the same basically. Cybermen are broken. Nappa himself less broken. So combined together, they equal S tier. Nappa is in fact pretty scary now. Cybermen continue to be as strong as ever. Nappa's ability to get in is as strong as ever. And both his mix of tools and damage from said Cybermen are continued to be really strong. Nappa himself, like I said, speaking of Nappa players, we got Kruger here. Wait, besides that though, we got Cybermen are 100% top 10. Nappa not so much, but combine the two of them together, we got him in the S tier. Just because that's because Nappa is at his best when Cybermen are wreaking havoc. Kefla. Along Kefla is here for the same reason as Tien is here. She's just really, really solid. It's like basically, if you go back 2 years, the midpoint of the game of is your character good to not good typically revolved around Bardock. That's basically where Kefla is now. Kefla is now basically the point of are you as good as Kefla? If so, you're probably pretty good. If you're not as good as Kefla, you're probably okay, just okay then. Exactly. She's not amazing at anything really, although her neutral is really good, especially now that she can cancel her orbs into a dash. making it actually legit pretty scary. But outside of that, her mix-up game is okay. Her damage is solid, but nothing amazing. Her level 1 damage is pretty good. Her level 3 damage is not. Again, kind of averaging out. And her normals are basically pretty good. Nothing amazing, nothing bad. Although her assist is a top tier beam like assist though. So in the end, very, very solid. Not the best character, not the worst character. She's got everything. She's literally just got everything you would probably ever want with her. That's pretty much it though. Her level 1 is pretty good. Her level 1 is pretty good. Her level 3 is not, but her level 1s are pretty good. Base Vegeta. We can do the Vegeta. We can just do a Vegeta now. Base Vegeta. Yeah, Base Vegeta tosses a bunch of Ki Blast. High damage. In contention for best level 3 Oki in the game. Still got loops to build a bunch of meter. And in a current meta where everyone is chucking beams at all times, the ability to use his EX moves to get around them and get combos off of them is pretty good. His main flaw being some stubby normals, and the fact that his main neutral game right now is Ki Blast does make him a bit weaker in terms of the neutral in a meta that is full of people filling the screen much more than he does with moves that have a higher priority. So that's why I would leave him in the S tier. Some top tier special moves with his flying kick and his knee drop is just a few stubby normals along with the high priority of either Ki Blast, immune buttons, or beams. Unfortunately, leaves him down out of the top 10, but still one of the better characters in the game. Super Saiyan Vegeta. A character that I swear I'm fighting myself on if I want to put him down in A+. Because honestly, I'm tempted to put him down in A+ and put Goku in S. Because he is an odd one. Man, so the top of A+. I'm honestly considering him putting him in A+. I'm actually considering that. Because he is much better now than he was before. Like much better than what he was before. His meter gain and combo game are both very, very good now, especially since you can super dash cancel. People who had all tried to go through his Ki Blast will just eat a knee instead, which is also really good. But the main and although I haven't seen much of it, I hear good things about the 236L change. But I still think I'm probably going to put him in A+ for a similar reason to base Vegeta, but except the fact he doesn't have the damage of a base Vegeta. He's born meter gain, but he doesn't have the damage of base Vegeta. He doesn't have the level 3 of the base Vegeta. Both of their normals are iffy. He doesn't have the mix of a base Vegeta. And even though he does have the DP, if you try to go through the Ki Blast, because of the fact that you can go around the Ki Blast and punish him for doing it, or if you're around it all and chuck a beam, or if you're playing any of these characters that go through Ki Blasts, the changes that make some people think he's going to be crazy doesn't quite work nearly as well as at least I think some people said otherwise. He does build crazy meter now. His combos are now much better, but his super Oki doesn't match his. His mix potential doesn't match his. His damage potential I think is similar. I'm also not sure who does more damage. He does with supers, of course, because of the grab. But it's so just heavily reliant on those Ki Blasts. And there's just too many things that ignores it, I think, to put him up in S. Although there is definitely an argument to have him up in S along with the other Vegetas. Go play games and SD people doing keep us. Again, if a good player, if someone tries to go through the Ki Blasts, will DP you. But if he fires Ki Blasts at an angle, like let's say straight here towards super early, right? If you're up here and you super dash, you will just hit him. Or if you're a character with an air beam, so let's say you're playing a character like a Gotenks, or you're throwing a Ki Blast like a Jiren, or a Krillin, or a Buu, or a Cell, or a Tien, or a lot of these characters, or any of the Gokus, or anything really. Then he's jump, beam, super dash, because they all can super dash confirm. So yes, he can DP when you hit the Ki Blast, but if you get around them, or if you have a beam, you're just going to get punished. And being the fact that that's his main tool, just makes it difficult compared to the likes of a base Vegeta who's got the knee drop and the flying kick to deal with all these people chucking beams at him. So I think I'm going to leave him in A+. I think it's probably top A+. But I think he's probably down here though. But someone who is up here though, Blue Vegeta. No, I don't think he's top 10. I think Blue Vegeta was overhyped when the patch came out. Not to the point where I'm saying he's bad, but people were proclaiming him the next god of this game, basically. People were basically proclaiming Blue Vegeta to be the next big god of this game, and I don't know if I would say that. Could he be top 10? Maybe. So to be honest, I'll probably move him up here for now, and we might move him up later. But at the moment, I don't know if I'm ready to proclaim him the top 10 because he's not a god of the game like some people think he would be. His damage is beyond insane. His meter is good. His meter build from said damage is really freaking good. He's got good mix potential. His neutral is okay, and his meter. But his neutral game is okay, and his normals are eh. But besides that, high meter gain, ridiculously high meter gain, ridiculously high damage, really good mix, solid lariat, an air grab, which is hit or miss on not being really good. Like I said, we might put him top 10 later, but I'm not ready to proclaim him as that just yet. Videl, another character I'm pretty damn sure not putting top 10. Videl, there's still no characters in this game. I would rather there's still no characters in this game that are scarier than her, in my opinion. If I'm stuck blocking, if I'm blocking against Videl, I will probably get hit against her long before I will get hit by anybody else. Her mix, and in general, when you're blocking against her, is horrifying. She's got much like it seems like more and more characters in this game goes through shit with her 6H. Air throw, much like Blue Vegeta. Again, kind of hit or miss, but is really good. And the fact that it looks very similar to her other moves makes it even scarier. Her 2-2H basically being a DP that also hits you and then you can combo off of is ridiculous. Her mix from it plus assist is also really scary. The only issues coming from Videl is the fact that with Videl your neutral comes entirely off Seiya Man. I cannot speak. Oh my lord, I can't even say the sentence. I cannot speak. Videl's neutral being involved the entire round Saiyan Man isn't the best, and her normals are kind of just okay. Her dodge is either better than a reflect or worse than a reflect. There's no in between. But once she's in though, there's arguably no character I'm more afraid of. Take her sub. What's up, Kurt? Let's do this for the 20 months. I appreciate it. We're currently making a tier list right now. having some mixed opinions from the chat, but that's what's fun about making a tier list. But yeah, so let's see here. What other characters are we for sure not putting top 10? We are not putting Cooler in top 10, but he is up in the S tier along with a big glow up, just like his brother. Because Cooler, you cannot get him off of you. Much like with Jiren, you will never get away from a Cooler when he has you in a block string. Why is the 5H -1? It is basically full screen. Why does it go? Why does it? Is it -1? And also, you can no longer two-wage these freaking dives. There's so many S tiers, correct? Because this game has a lot of characters you can choose. That is the cool part about this game is that you can choose many different characters in this game, and you will probably be fine with them. It's more so about team synergy than anybody else. There are just some characters that are better, and that's what these top ones are. But past that, there are quite a few characters that are relevant, and it is pretty damn cool to see. And that is why at CEO you saw many different characters, because there's a lot more variety now that we're not being forced to play Double Fusion Lab Coat every single game. But anyways, yeah, Cooler 3H goes through everything. Was busted before, it's still busted now. 5H being -1 on block means that you will never get away. Dive kicks being basically only reflectable now. Insane. Why give him plus frame dive kicks that you can only reflect now? It was one thing before where you could 2H it, but now you can't even do that. It's very good. And also the fact that he now has extra rejumps off of his 5H with the combos means that he now has basically corner-to-corner combos with higher damage, which, to be fair, he didn't really need. And you could also use the beam changes. I still don't really get the point of the OTG. It doesn't really do anything. But besides that, he's just gotten much better. And you still have the cross-up J2H. That's still a thing. Not a bug. They just left it, so it's still a thing. So mix for a character that doesn't have mix. Correct, Katara. There are now setups that he does where you can no longer 2H the dive kick. You can only reflect it. See? There you go. Sammy said so. Welcome to what has become of Cooler. Level 3, especially if you do level 3 into the J2H, you are not blocking that. I don't care who you are. If he does the level 3 Oki and goes into the J2H and does it, you are not blocking it. Who else? I'm gonna sneeze in a second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. 16. Such a good character. Why did they make it full screen? 16 falling in the same issue with some other characters, which is not quite everything, but still has a lot. The Rocket Fist being really quick. The 5H having armor. His 2H allowing a float makes it really weird. The main thing, though, unreactable command grabs, and a grab that now goes full screen and goes through everything. Who in their right mind thought that was a good idea? We wanted less full screen things, now we got a full screen grab that goes through everything? Who the hell thought that was a good idea? Literally, the only down parts of outside of 16 is that his neutral isn't all that great, and if you end up whiffing the grab, you are minus quite a bit. But those are quite literally the only bad things about 16 now. He's got solid meter gain, really good combos with like 20 different rejumps, and a full screen grab that he could also do a grab out of the air too, to where you literally are just going to get scooped 24/7. It's just like, what's the point? It's like everything, you're going to get grabbed. Simple as that. You're going to get grabbed. It's going to happen, and you're just going to have to deal with it. 16. If you enjoy command grabbing someone, whether they're in the air, on the ground, right next to you, or on the other side of the screen, he's got you covered for all of them. And I don't like it because I'm really bad against that. Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue. Still very good. Still a very good character. Many people, including myself after seeing the changes, thought he was not going to be a very good character. Yeah, he's still a very good character. Because even though he can't just 2H you for free anymore, who cares? His records are still really good. Are still really good for setting a mix. You thought this character couldn't 2-touch you anymore because it doesn't build meter? Well, too bad. He 2-touches you anyways. It just basically takes all of his meter. The only difference is he doesn't 2-touch you and have 2 bars left over. Now he 2-touches you and you basically just have no bars at that point. There really isn't. So is he broken anymore? No, not really. Main thing before was that he basically could do all those things and have 5 bars afterwards just because he could. Now he does all those things again, but now he doesn't have said bar. Everything else is basically the same. The only other things you can't just do run up 2H anymore. But that's really not quite as big a deal when he still has the same Rekka that leads to mix, the same 2M that goes full screen, and all the fun stuff that Gogeta Blue had last patch. Basically everything's still the same. The only difference is now he doesn't build 5 bars in a combo. Unless you're in Spark, in which case you'll still build all 7, basically, just because he's Blue Gogeta. But he's still got his rejumps, he's still got literally everything that made him so strong last time. You just can't 2H for free, and you're not going to have 5 bars. But he'll still 2-touch you at all times, just because. Why the fuck is Gogeta Blue on S? Well, I basically just said it, but we'll say it one more time. He's basically the same. He's basically the exact same thing he was before. The only difference is he can't 2H you anymore. You can't 2H in the 50-50 anymore, and he won't 2-touch you with 5 bars left over. Now he'll 2-touch you and with 1 bar left over. Nothing else really changed. He still builds a bar to a bar and a half per combo, which with the amount of damage he has being him, it's still basically a 2-touch scenario. He still has the same mix off of the Rekka. Everything is basically still the same. You just can't run up 2H and you're not going to have 5 bars afterwards unless you have Spark, in which case you will have them all. Nothing else really changed. He's still basically the same crazy character. You think Blue Gogeta is A+? He could be. He definitely could be considered an A+ because of the meter nerf. But he is still really strong though, just based on the fact that he is still what he is. Y'all consistently 2-touching me. Well, if you watch the Brussels tournament this weekend, Kelvin, Yasha when he pulled out the Blue Gogeta again was 2-touching off of Blue Gogeta with Blue Gogeta each game. But yeah, so continuing on, Zamasu. Zamasu is not in the top 10, or at least I don't think so. He's not really all that different than he was before. He builds less meter, but honestly, who cares? Because he didn't build bar anyways. The main issue now with the character is the fact that before, everyone's idea was full charge at you nonstop. Now everyone is chucking beams and projectiles into Super Dash to get it instead. So Zamasu is going to struggle to get his game plan going, get into the air, and start chucking beams himself, because everyone else is going to be doing it twice as fast as he does. It was easier to do it when everyone was sprinting at you, but now that they're no longer doing that, it's much harder to get Zamasu's game plan going, which unfortunately is leaving him just out of the top 10 because of that. He is definitely still very strong. Like I said, basically no changes. It's just unlike last patch where he was pretty good as a counter into the meta. This time the meta has turned against him, and because of that, I think has knocked him down out of the top 10, but into the likes of the S tiers. We are getting very close now to who would be left in the top 10, which then begs that question. Like I said, Blue Gogeta very well could be down in A+. He very well could be. I think he probably is. I think he might still be considered an S tier. He very well could be down here. It's honestly either way. Same thing. Like I said, I have the same thing I have with Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. All 3 of these guys could be considered S tier. They also all could be considered A+ tier. they're kind of at that point, at least for me. So it could be either or. And we might end up changing this between now and the end. But he is still very strong nevertheless, which is why I put him probably, if anything, near the bottom of S. But he is still very good though. How about we throw one? What's up, Taika? How about we throw on another two characters into the top 10 that I'm pretty sure I would put in the top 10. Fine. Like I said, we can put him A+ with the, we can put him at the top of A+, and then we can always adjust that. We can always adjust this later. But let's throw on another two characters onto the top 10, just because that makes it a little easier. We're going to throw on Baby into the top 10 next. And Taika, if you think Super Saiyan Vegeta is the best Vegeta in the game, you are dreaming, because that is definitely, if we include Baby in that, Baby is definitely the best. Otherwise, Blue Vegeta is 100% better than Super Saiyan Vegeta. That is for sure. But Baby, definitely top 10 now. Why? Because he did not need mix. He did not need mix. Okay. All right. Take a breath. I'll calm down for a second. So Super Baby 2, probably, if not arguably, the best neutral in the game. Both in terms of the fact that he's got the best ki blast in the game because they go forward and back, as well as the fact that he's got a 6S that goes through all other ki blasts, and also he's got 6H, which just goes through everything, as well as locks people down. He also has an anti-air spin and anti-air command grab, as well as one of the highest damaging level 3s in the game in terms of the monkey. And now the fact that after all that, he already has some of the best neutral in the game, he now has mix, because why? Why did he need mix? He did not need the ability to freaking go high or low with that mix. He did not need that on top of everything else. And pair that together, if Krillin and Gotenks are the two characters that use the beams the best, the beam changes the best, Baby is the third best, because he does. I'm pretty sure it is confirmed now. Baby has the highest damaging highest damaging routes in the game now. Baby's now the character that does the most damage in the game. I've seen combos where he does 7k without a meter off of 2M stars in the corner thanks to the beam changes. He builds probably the most meter in the game on top of that. And then in general, trying to get in on him, because you can't really super dash him for free because he has anti-air moves. You can't really run the ground because ki blasts are coming back. And the 6H can jail into either a high-low 50-50 or a guaranteed DR knockdown in the corner. Baby in general just has literally everything, and the only thing holding back the fact that he is a top tier character is the fact that he's got very little representation, because almost all of his combos are incredibly character specific, and you need to know that in order to be able to play him at his most optimal. Yes, Baby, I'm pretty sure, does the most damage off of every starter in the game. Oh yeah, and because of the fact that his 5M now jails off of his 2M, he now has what is 5M, a -1, -2? I think it's -1. He does a -1 5M that goes really far that now jails off of 2M that you now have to guess whether Baby will do literally anything off of, and if you guess wrong, you will blow up and die. Because Yeah, -1. Yeah, so because Garlic literally killed me from 90% with Solo Baby because I decided to hit a button off of his 5M when instead he 5H and I literally died at like 90%. Does the also care specific combos? Not really. Or at least none of the ones I do. And not to the point that Baby does. That's for sure. I don't think his 5M being -1 is a knowledge check. What's Baby's mix? He's got the same high low that Blue Gogeta does. Baby's 2L is 9 frames. Gogeta Blue's 2L is 9 frames. So he literally can do the exact same high low that Blue Gogeta does. Correct. You can challenge challenge the 5M and it could work, and you could challenge it and it won't work. It literally all depends on what the opponent does afterwards. If you mash Reflect and he does nothing, you die. If you mash he does 5H, you die. If you sit there and he resets afterwards, you're stuck. Welcome to the game of playing against a character who's got a button that's minus so little. It just makes it tough. And you pair all that together with the fact that he's got probably the best neutral in the game, and you got one hell of a character right there. One difficult character to play, but one hell of a character nevertheless. And the other character we're going to put into the top 10 before returning back to S is Adult Gohan. A character that saw no changes in the last patch, but due to he got technically a micro nerf in the from this last patch due to the fact that the fusions are nerfed. The fusions being nerfed are basically the only reason why Gohan would see any fall, since they were some of his best partners. But due to the rise of Gotenks, of Jiren, of Tien, Adult Gohan still sees plenty of meter build from his teammates. Level 3 is still a crazy tool to have in terms of both neutral and mix-ups, having the double dash, being able to get into level 5 and level 7 pretty easily with the rise of the battery characters being much stronger. Definitely makes it easier to get to 5 and 7 as well, which are both crazy in their own right with reverse beat and special cancels themselves. And if he's level 7, you are just going to die off basically any touch. So Gohan, still incredibly strong. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put him in top 10 yet, but definitely top 10. And the fact that, like I said, even though the double blue fusions are nerfed and those were his best partners, he's still got a few good batteries you can choose from to build up the bar, and he will see plenty of levels, either from getting a DR from the Gotenks, a DR from Jiren, or a level 1 into 20 level 1s from 18. We done with S? No, we are not done with S, because we have 3 characters left in top 10, and we have 7 characters here, 8 if you include Blue Vegeta. So I still gotta decide who the top 10 is. Because these are the characters I knew for sure I'm going to put top 10. And I didn't know what I was going to put, what I was going to do after that. I knew for sure I was going to put these guys in the top 10. I just didn't know where the fusions were, where lab code was, if they're going to be top 10, if they're going to be just short of top 10. That was where I wasn't fully sure, and I now have to actually decide where I'm going to put them. So we'll put the next character I think I'm not going to put top 10 though, and it kind of kills me not to put him top 10 because it sucks fighting against him, and Charlie is going to be happy I do this. I'm putting Hit down in S. I kind of want to put Hit down. A+. Shut up, Charlie. You're going to see him go to S, and you're just going to have to take it. We're going to put Hit in S, even because, again, it's hard to pick the top 10. Like I said, I think these are the top 7, but it's hard to decide who the top 10 is going to be. So let's go with Hit. Hit is in general the character that is where neutral does not exist to him. He doesn't have it, he doesn't play it, and he doesn't let you play it. Everything he does is ignores it. His time skip and stance and everything goes through it. He does. Charlie, shut up. His mixed game is both a knowledge check as well as really difficult to deal with. Because of the fact that you can do EX stance cancel in like 17 or 20 frames or whatever, very short amount of time, causing the mix-ups to be insane. His 2M is slow, but on top of everything you have to deal with, sometimes it can be hard to deal with. As I said, deal with like 20 times. His buttons are gigantic. Mine is very little, so his staggers are crazy. And in general, hit is just terrifying to deal with, on top of having a arguably top 5 assist in the game. The only downsides for him is the fact that most of the stuff he does is basically a knowledge check. There are things you can do against it, and if you know what to look out for, you can block it. But because of how much there is to deal with, though, even the best players will still get hit by even the 27 frame 2M, because there is so much you have to watch out for with this character. And everything he does, basically being invulnerable, is quite terrifying, especially in a meta where you are going to be throwing out a lot of things. Be it Ki Blast beams, there's a good chance hit will just ignore it and punish you for even attempting it. Again, he's one of those characters where he could be put up in top 10, but I think he is probably one of those characters that are in top 15 and just out of top 10. Not sure what team OB is playing right now. I know Wade for sure is us this playing. But yeah, we'll do Majin 21 next. Majin 21 S. She both got better and weaker in this patch, because she always gets better and weaker in every patch, because I don't know, they just really like doing that to Zoku. Yep, we're doing a tier list for reasons I don't know. I'm being stupid and decided to finally make mine. Basically all the French players are all playing Street Fighter while also still playing Dragon Ball. But yeah, 21, crazy good. Everything about her still really good. Her combos so much better. All of her power, all of her steals got way better. But the only downside of what happened last patch, for some reason, they made her EX orb push further away. So her mix got worse. Outside of that, everything is better. Her normals, still crazy good. Her damage, really good now, thanks to all the steals. Her ground level 3, non-existent. Her air level 3, pretty damn good. Basically everything about her really good, except for mix options, which are kind of okay to pretty good. Some are really good, but mostly are just okay to pretty good. And her damage is really good. Problem is, her level 3 Oki is bad now. But everything else about her, really freaking good. True, Stardust. Very true. I know what the level 3 is for, but it's still not great though. Her ground level 3 gives you steals, cool, and it restores a little bit of blue life. But I still am not going to say her level 3 is good. Also, King Gustav with the 19 months. When rollback, who the hell knows? But we here at ZaneFGC know you have many options on where we'll spend your Prime sub, and we thank you for choosing us. When rollback, who the hell knows? We'll find out in 2 weeks, fingers crossed. People are saying the X Orb nerf. Fair enough. Fair enough. I can't say I know for sure because I haven't really played her much or seen her much. That's just mainly what I've been told. But I still think I would probably put her down in S though, even if the orb didn't really do too much of a difference. I still think she's probably down in the S tier. And like I said, we have 3 characters we're going to put up in top 10. So next character I think we're going to put in the top 10. We are going to put Red Gogeta. I think Red Gogeta is up in top 10. Also Trisnia with the Prime and the 5 months. Because we here at ZaneFGC, even though you just heard it, still know you have many options where you want to spend your Prime sub, and we thank you for choosing us. Dynamics got worse. Fair enough, Katara. I can't say much. I don't know much. That's mainly just things I have heard. That's just mainly just things I've heard. But yeah, for Gogeta, this character is the same freaking thing he was last patch. He got nerfed last patch. He builds less damage now from last patch. He's not good anymore. I'm gonna put everything in air quotes because he's still stupid. Everything is still stupid. He still has an anti-air auto combo that hits backwards for some reason. His lariat still goes through everything and does a million builds a less. So goes through everything and does a million damage. He builds less damage. Sorry, builds less meter. We all know my English is bad already. You're just going to have to deal with it. But Red Gogeta, we all know, is still stupid. Still is one of the best still is probably one of the best outcomes in the game. One of the best staggers in the game, along with characters like Jiren. Some of the highest damage in the game. One of the best level 3 Okis in the game. Assuming we're talking about in the corner. A DP that has the longest gap between punch and vanish for some reason, to a point where it might as well be safe. An auto combo that is an anti-air that he can cancel into a counter to try and make someone play RPS and be afraid to hit a button even though it's their turn. Red Gogeta is still as stupid as ever. The only difference is he now builds 25% less meter, which, let's face it, when you're playing Red Gogeta, you're probably, I can't say because I don't play him, but you're probably not exactly all that afraid of it. Oh yeah, and he's also got the plus frame spin kick, which is still just as annoying as ever. Oh yeah, and you can left right the DP because down motions. It's almost like Street Fighter 6's charge motion from down up. It's like, do you have to guess which side's gonna be on? No, just do down up and it'll hit either way. You are good. Okay, that is 8 characters. I guess I will order this afterwards. I might get blowback for this one because you guys may not like this. I still think Lapcode's top 10. I'm sorry. You guys may not like this. You guys might agree with this. I don't know. Lapcode is still top 10 because everything she does is still stupid. Her spins are still stupid. Her key blast is still strong. Her barrier is still strong. Her mix of game and stagger game still strong. She still has 2 different throws, 6 different lows, 2 different overheads. The only difference is now she builds 50% less meter, where if you are playing a character that builds meter at all, like half the top 10 does, you really don't notice any difference. Everything about her is still good. The only difference now is that she does a bit less damage. She builds a lot less bar, and you can just brain dead do spin in neutral 24/7 because you're going to get reflected even when you're blocking it. But if you're not doing those things, like most people already don't, then basically she's going to be the exact same character she was, and that was really good. And so that's why she's no longer top 1 in the game. Literally the only bad thing about her now is she builds no meter. But again, if you play Jiren, Gotenks, 18, Ginyu, Baby, not really Gohan, Blue Vegeta, Tien Gohan, Cell, Kefla, Base Vegeta, a lot of characters in the game that build good bar, lab code will be fine and basically be the same in the end. Because of all the beam changes, everyone builds a lot of meter. Some build more than others, but a lot of characters build a lot of meter. So the fact that she doesn't just means you just put her mid and then bring her in and she's the same character. The only bad side about doing so is her A assist is not reflectable, but because of the fact that C assists now have a much reduced cooldown compared to what they were before, you can basically play that and it'll honestly be fine. And also it's a beam assist, which are always good. It's a C assist, means a free confirm, and it's the fastest beam in the game, so it's quick. So, decent C assist. So in the end, you'll be fine. But yeah, so that's 9. So the question is, Blue Goku, Janemba, or Vegito? Who gets the role? who goes to S, and who goes to the top 10. Because honestly, it could be any of them. Janemba is still probably the best anchor in the game. Blue Vegeta, because of the fact that he still has one of the best assists in the game and normally comes in as anchor, neither of them really care much about the meter nerf. Blueku is still as strong as ever with the unreactable command grab, loops, and high damage. They all can be deserving of a spot, but which one should make it? That is the question. All right, well, I guess, like I said, poll up. I could do a poll, but for right now though, we'll put Vegito in S, because it seems like the poll only cares. It seems like the poll you guys want are not going to be, or the poll will either lead toward one of these two. So Vegito. Much like Labcoat, is a character that does everything, that builds no meter and is otherwise the exact same character. A assist, incredibly strong, one of the best in the game, and not in contention for the best in the game. Can still do 20 different specials all in the air while basically being safe. Same side sword, level 3 mix, high damage, strong 5M. Everything is basically still the same. The only downside to Vegito and why it affects him more than lab code is because of the fact that he's an anchor does mean he comes in with meter, but the big downside to that is the fact that unlike lab code, almost everything Vegito does involves meter. Almost everything Vegito does involves meter. The level 3 Oki both is a level 3 and requires a vanish. He loves doing EX throw and EX legs to define his neutral and get people. The problem is with both those things, they all cost meter and he does not build them back. That is the big downside between Vegito compared to Lapcoat, and why she is still top 10 and why he is probably just out of it. He is incredibly meter hungry, and after he goes through whatever his teammates give him, he will not get it back, and you are just going to do it. Problem is, everything else about him is incredibly strong, so he is still in contention for a top 10 best character in the game. But because the meter nerf hits him that much harder than everyone else, he is probably going to just barely miss the top 10. Blue Goku better than Blue Gogeta? Absolutely. Absolutely he is. Did Vegito get buffs? No. Did Blue Goku get buffs? No. But Blue Gogeta got worse, and Blue Goku was already almost as good, if not as good. Yep, what's up, Alamada? Vegito builds 50% bar compared to Blue Gogeta. So yeah, who is the final character in top 10? Blue Goku or Janemba? That is a annoying question. That is an annoying question, but I think we are going for. This is a tough one. But I think lab code is better than them though. Top 11. Top 11, let's go. Top 11, let's go. I can't decide. So top 11, Blue Goku and Janemba. Because I honestly, I know 11's a weird number, but I don't freaking know who the hell to put over the other right now, because they're both incredibly strong in two. It's top 11 in order, not yet, but we will order it. But first I want to do this first. Yes, because I don't know who to put. They're both incredibly strong in two entirely different ways. The question is, which one, though, would be better? G2 Goku is at best an A plus. I actually did have him in A plus earlier, but we moved him down to A. Neither of them are easy to play. Blue Goku is a great point. Built a bunch of meter, goes through Ki Blast, unreactable command grab, great mix off his EX dive, and mix in general, really good staggers. Janemba, also really good staggers, really good neutral, full screen Ki Blast as well as EX slash, one of the best level 3 Okis in the game. A slightly slower command grab than Blue Goku, but almost also unreactable and also having more range. And arguably a better stagger between his 5L 2L being 0 on block. So honestly, the idea of which one, and also having a frame for anti-air J2H and having a frame for invulnerable double teleport is beyond ridiculous for both of them. The question is, which one do we favor? The anchor, who's ridiculous for how he uses the bar and his crazy tools, or the Blue Goku who builds all the bar using all of his crazy tools? There lies the question. And they're both Blue Goku. Blue Goku is arguably stronger than Janemba, but he's also more difficult to play at his optimal potential. So the question is, do we just say top 11, or do we actually have to pick one? Because I'll be honest, top 11 does feel weird to put. Yeah, I don't like top 11. We're gonna do this. We're gonna pick one. I think we're gonna pick one. You're biased. You think Vegeta better than Janemba? I love how you guys are just as confused for this as I am. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one a little lost. God. Decisions. I'm biased and want to say Janemba, but that's because Janemba has always kicked my ass. So that's kind of the thing. I'm biased towards saying Janemba. Oh, please ban Cammy. Wrong game. Your shell. I haven't ordered it yet. But if you're playing Jiren, Gotenks, 18, you're playing one hell of a team, man. If we're taking difficulty into consideration, then Janemba will remain top 10, and Blue Goku will fall. Janemba be hurting both my Beerus and Zamasu, yes. So there's some slight bias for me there. But but if we're taking difficulty at all into consideration, then Janemba will take the spot because Blue Goku, in order to play him at his most optimal, is much more difficult than the likes of Janemba. Yeah, if you are actually playing Jiren Gotenks 18, that is stupidly strong. The point of a tier list is to show visually which characters are better, not creating tiers and restrict yourself to put characters in different tiers. Same as well. Again, I originally had GT Goku in A+. I'm still a bit torn on that. Jiren Gotenks Krillin. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anyone I'd like to change. Like I said, Buu might be down in A+. So the difference between A+ and A is I don't think that I don't think characters like Super Broly, Black, and Roshi are as strong as characters like Super Saiyan Goku, Blue Gogeta, Kid Buu, or these guys. But at the same time though, they're definitely not. Same time, like a couple of these guys could be up here, but I'm unsure, and they're definitely better than them. So I'm a bit torn on. So there are some characters I'm definitely a bit torn on. Could go either way. It's like Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Blue Gogeta could be up here, or they could be down here. GT Goku I think is the only character that could be up here. I don't think UI, Roshi, Black, or Super Broly should be there. So don't see Black being that much worse than Super Saiyan Goku. I disagree. I think Super Saiyan Goku is better than Black. We swap Gogeta and Kefla. You've been trying to get me to put Kefla down low for quite some time. As for the top 10, since I was planning on ordering it. Katara, I can put all them in the same tier. I can put them all in the same tier if that's what you want. But I definitely don't think. But I don't think. But I'm not going to. But that's basically about it. Like at best, I'll put them in the same tier if anything. How the hell am I going to order it? Fuck if I know. I think the last three are fine in this order. I think Gogeta Red's the best and better these three than Lab Coat than Janemba. I think that's fine. The top three are probably Jiren Gotenks 18. Who's bottom five ordered? Bottom five ordered. I'd probably go with starting at the top. I'd go with probably Roshi, Yamcha, Trunks, Space Goku, Bardock. Bardock is the worst. Bardock is the worst. Space Goku is the second worst. Is Baby better than Jiren? No. Beerus is top 3. I'm trying to think how to freaking order this. I'm trying to think how to order this. Like, I think I'm happy with 8, 9, and 10. But past that, I'm struggling to think of how to order this. Because all these characters are stupid good. Top 10 ordered. That's what I'm currently working on. I'm currently thinking about. This shit's hard. This shit's hard to think about. Yeah, I think Jiren's 1. I think out of based on ease of use, character strength, and also the character we're probably seeing most of. I think Jiren's 1. Gotenks is I think Ginyu before Beerus 5. I think I might go with this. Yeah, I think the top 3 are Jiren, Gotenks, and 18. I think Jiren's probably top 1. Gotenks and 18 are second and third. I think I want to say Ginyu is probably 4th after that, and then I want to say Beerus, baby, Gohan. I think I might go with this. Okay, I'm getting rid of the A+. I'm getting rid of the A+. I'm getting rid of the A+ here. There you go, everybody. There you go, everybody happy? I'm just getting rid of the stupid A+ here, so that way everyone can quit asking about it. Hey, everyone kept asking about it. A+ tier, why this tier? Why this tier? It can't be this, it can't be that. Fine, we'll just get rid of it. Yeah, I think I might go with this. I think I'll go with this for my order. Gotenks and 18, I think, can be flip-flopped, and I think these 4 can be flip-flopped as well. Ginyu, Beerus, Baby, and Gohan. I think these 3 are the top 3. I think these are the next 4, and then I'm okay with these 3 as is. I think Jiren is the best. I think these two are close behind him. I'm just not sure which one I'd prefer. 18's better at playing from ahead. Her barrier game is stupid. Her punish game is stupid. Her mixed game is strong. Her level 1 Oki is strong. Her level 3 is the best. Gotenks is better at playing from behind than she is. He's got better overall neutral. His mix of game is a bit better thanks to his EX spin. He also has crazy good level 1 Oki, and he's got really good level 3 Oki as well. mid screen only, and he builds a bunch of bar in combos, and she builds a bunch of bar not in combos. They basically both do the same things. It's just she builds meter without needing hits, and doesn't build as much bar with getting hits. He doesn't build much bar and spends more bar trying to get a hit, but he builds much more when he gets the hit. So basically, they play two opposite, but they do the same thing pretty much. People be. Yeah, I think I'll go with this for the top 10. Pretty much. But yeah, I think I'll go with this for the top 10 in terms of order. Thoughts, questions, concerns, whatever. While we're still looking at the list, either about where the top 10 is ordered, while you guys continue to argue about that, or the in general SAB part of the tier list. Now S in order, oh god no. I struggled this much to order top 10. There's no way in hell I'm gonna order S that well. Although funnily enough, I think this might be the top 15 though. maybe we should order top 15. I think this is probably actually the top 15. Top 10, then Vegito, Blueku, Blue Vegeta, 17, and Krillin. Maybe not in this exact order, but honestly probably would be actually the top 15. At least be in order. There you go. Actually, no, sorry. There you go. Be in order. Do you think Trunks is better than Yamcha? Either or. I think these are the undisputed bottom two. And then there's these two. I think it's just straight up how that's just straight up how it works. Could be either or. I think it's literally these two and then these two. I think Bardock is the worst, but there's an argument for base Goku. And then these are the next two after that. So there's an argument to be made there. Why is Fat Buu S when you have it to he has some really strong mix thanks to butt slam. He's got some of the best mix in the game when it comes through restands. The only issue being the fact you have to build a team around it. Good normals, pretty solid neutral, fast beam with the clouds, anti-air, everything's. And it's pretty good at literally everything except for super damage, and even then his corner routes now do at least do somewhat decent damage. His basically their only weakness pretty much only comes from the fact that he doesn't have very high damage when it comes to supers. What's my stance on Beerus matchup against Labco? Beerus hates that matchup. Yeah, like Konatsu said, those are my reasons for why each character goes where. I might be wrong. I might be right. These are all just my opinions. Doesn't mean I don't know everything about the game. In fact, I probably don't even know that much about the game, but this is just where I think things might stand. And even then, in the end, this is kind of somewhat a prediction because we haven't had a lot of tournaments yet. This is just my pre-EVO list. I might be wrong, and suddenly we're going to see 20 Majin Buus in the top 24. or we're going to see 18 Friezas, or I don't know. We'll see some. We'll see something or whatever. These are just kind of where I see things might be. And yes, Squad Leader Down. This is going onto YouTube probably tonight. Show the Beerus on the tier list. Beerus versus Lab Coat is heavily Lab Coat favored, but that doesn't mean Lab Coat's a better character than Beerus. It just means that Lab Coat is better into Beerus specifically. Is this ordered? Top 10 is ordered, and arguably top 15 is ordered, because I kind of think these are probably the top 5 characters past that. So the top 10 is ordered. Next 5 after that is probably ordered. Might move that around if I do actually decide to order it, but probably not going to look past that. I'm probably just going to stick with my top 10. How you doing, Del? Don't leave tanks there. But he's thought I'll swap them with 18 if that makes you feel better. But that's about all I'm willing to do. Way more annoying. To be fair, they're both really annoying. Like I said, you could basically you could change either or. These two characters. I think Jiren is top 1. I think 18 and Gotenks are 2 and 3. And I think you could go back and forth between the two depending on which one you find more annoying, or which one you find more practical based on what things in the game you think is more important. And then we got the next 4, which I think are their own group as well, and then the 3 after that. So I think you could swap 18 and Gotenks. You can swap Ginyu, Beerus, Baby, and Gohan as you please. I think those are their own group, and then I think these are the next group after that, along with, of course, the next couple after that. Because I think the likes of Vegito, Blue Goku, and Blue Vegeta all possibly could be top 10 over some of these characters. But it kind of all comes down to how much you value and what you think is better. Basically, anything orders past top 5 is pretty different. I still want to see your list so I can refine it. Hang on. And never mind, it's gone. Hey, alright, can you just send it to me on Discord so I can see it through there? Unfortunately, my stream manager's not loading it. Thank you. Beerus, Ginyu, Gogeta 4, Lab Vegeta, Gohan, Blueku and Janemba. Well, our top 10 is almost the exact same. The only difference is you have Vegito. Other than that, you have Gogeta and Lab Code over Baby and Gohan. But for the most part, our top 10 are basically the same. So not that far off. Yeah, but like I said, Vegito is one of those characters that, like I said, could be here. I think Vegito and Blue Goku specifically are 2 characters. There are arguments to have them in top 10. I'm just not sure exactly on which ones to put. Is it ordered? Top 10 is ordered. More so 1, 2, 3 are in a group. 4 through 7 are in a group, and then 8 through 10 are in a group. At least for me, I think they are. Vario's got them slightly different, but for the most part, they are at least somewhat similar. Charlie, I don't think Lab Coat is top 3 right now. Lab Coat is still very strong, but I don't see her being too far into the top 5 of anything. Like, if you want to move her up here, then maybe. But that's basically about as far as I'm willing to go. I don't think she's top 3 anymore. Top 6, top 7, maybe. Like I said, she might belong in these might belong in this group, but like I said, it's kind of hard to say at this point. I just don't think she's top 3 anymore. But yeah, that's my list. And that's my list, and I think I'm going to end it on that. I think it's a fairly solid list. Like I said, there are some things that I think could change. Like I said, these 3 I think could be up in S. Characters like Buu could technically be moved down to A, even though probably not. Buu, Kefla, there could be arguments to A, but I think to stick with S. And the bottom side, top 10, I think is tough to decide on because there are quite a few characters that could be seen in there, especially the ones with blue hair. But it is hard to say, and that's just how it's going to be because of the fact that the game has gotten much more balanced in terms of near the top. We still have the top echelons as always, but we are now seeing more characters fighting for those top spots. But yeah, I think I will be putting it at that, and yeah, I think we are good.